2 years ago, I told myself, I'm gonna become a reader. So I went out and bought myself a Kindle Paperwhite. And I thought, this is amazing. I'm gonna read at least 1 book a month. Fast forward 2 years and I've read 2 books on this thing. Not really what I was hoping for. And then 3 weeks ago, while on Instagram, I saw an ad for this. This is the Xteink X4. It's a $50 US, tiny little e-reader that's super thin, super pocketable, and super light. So why did I buy this when I'm barely even using my Kindle? Well, I like my Kindle a lot. I mean, it's got a nice backlight, it's well built, it's a great device in general, but the problem is that I'm not using it because I can't take it out with me when I'm out of the house. That's where the X4 comes in. I can take this wherever I go, and it's so small that it just sticks to the back of my phone and fits into my pocket. And that also means that when I do have free time on the train or at a cafe, I don't have to reach for my phone at all because I have a dedicated device that I can read on but can't be distracted with. And you might be saying, well, why don't you just download the Kindle app on your phone and that way you don't need to buy a whole separate device? Why are you wasting $50? Well, to that I say, have you ever opened up your phone to do something like check a message and you ended up scrolling for an hour for no reason, forgetting why you even opened it in the first place? I know you have because we all have. So my goal is to remove the need to even have this in my hand in the first place and just rely on the X4 entirely. Something with no distractions, only the books that I want to read. So let's take a closer look at the device. It's got a 4.3-inch 220 ppi display. It is super thin and light. I think it's about 73 grams in weight. It's got a magnetic ring built inside the back of it, which is a bit weak, but what I've done is stuck this metal sticky ring on the back of the device, and then that way I can stick it to the OSnap 5 on the back of my phone, and I can just stick it like this. It does have a few downsides though. Firstly, there is no backlight built into this, so if you want to read at night, you're going to need a clip-on light or lights on in your room. The screen is not a touch screen, so you're going to have to use the buttons to navigate. The buttons themselves actually feel pretty nice though, so I don't think it's necessarily a downside. I think the build quality is also really nice because the front and the back are made of glass, so the only plastic you really feel are the sides and the buttons, which doesn't feel too bad at all. I would say for $50, it feels like a very high quality product. So the thing that makes this thing quite special is that it has a chip called an ESP32. And the thing that makes it so special is that this chip is really hackable, and it has quite a big developer community around it. The firmware that this comes with by default is not that great, so the fact that it has this ESP32 chip has meant that a lot of people have made custom firmwares for this thing. And there's one custom firmware in particular called Crosspoint, which I think you need to know about if you're going to buy this thing. Crosspoint is a custom firmware that you can install on this very easily. All you have to do is plug this device into a computer, go on this website, click one button, and you've flashed Crosspoint. So when you do install this custom firmware, you get a bunch of additional benefits. You get better book formatting, better fonts, better EPUB support. You can put custom wallpapers like the one that I have on mine. It lets you sync your device with Calibre, which is a book management software on your laptop. It basically makes the device work the way that it should out of the box, and it makes it feel like a much more premium product. I'll also add that there are a couple of book file types that you can put on this. EPUB is one of them, but there's another file type called XTC, and that's the file type that I've been using for my books. So what I do is I take my EPUB book file, I go on a website and I convert it to XTC. What that does is lets me improve the font and improve the spacing and formatting of the books that I'm going to read. It pretty much just significantly improves the reading experience of the book and the overall experience on the device. I'll also say that if you do buy this, the device also comes with a 16 gig SD card, but I replaced that with a 64 gig SanDisk SD card because it's more reliable. So the way that I use the X4 day to day is actually in conjunction with my Kindle. I leave the Kindle at home and I take the X4 with me when I go out. And what has actually happened is that because I'm reading more when I'm out on my X4, I come home and I pick up the same book on my Kindle and continue reading at night. It's actually helping me form new habits and get me to read more often. It might sound weird, but I actually prefer reading on the X4 than my Kindle because it's so thin and light and you almost forget you're holding it. It just feels so natural. So should you buy an X4 for yourself? Well, if you want a small pocketable e-reader, I say this is an amazing purchase. If you already own something like a Kindle, but you don't see yourself really using it very often, then I would also say this is a worthwhile purchase because for myself, for example, it's got me to start reading a lot more than I used to. And if you're on the fence about buying it and you want to reduce your phone screen time, I would also say it's worth purchasing because for me, it has reduced my usage of apps like Instagram and YouTube. But if you feel like the screen is too small for you, or you already read quite often on your Kindle, it might not be that necessary to get something so tiny. I do have friends that prefer to read on bigger screen devices, and I could see them not really enjoying a screen like this. But for me personally, I think this has been a game changer and it's really helping me build my reading habit. So I'll put some links down below for how to install Crosspoint on this if you do decide to buy one, as well as a few other resources that I found helpful. So yeah, hopefully this was a helpful video for you, and if you have any questions, put them down below, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.